If you often notice cold hands or feet, a numb or heavy feeling in your legs, or that uncomfortable tingling that comes and goes, many people assume this is simply part of getting older. But these signs are usually your body's way of saying that blood is not moving as easily as it should to the areas that need it most. Every cell in your body depends on steady delivery of oxygen and nutrients. When that delivery slows down, tissues do not feel as comfortable, and recovery becomes slower. This is especially noticeable in the hands, feet, and lower legs because they are farthest from the heart and rely on very small blood vessels to stay well supplied. The encouraging part is that this kind of circulation change is often related to how well the inner lining of your blood vessels is working, and that lining can be supported. Inside every artery and vein is a thin, smooth layer called the endothelium. When we are younger, this layer is flexible and responsive. It helps vessels widen and narrow easily, depending on what the body needs. Over time, daily stress, low-grade inflammation, and even common food choices can make this lining less responsive. It does not usually happen all at once. It happens slowly, in very small changes that are easy to miss. But when this lining becomes less flexible, the smallest vessels, the ones that feed your toes, fingers, and even parts of the brain, may not open as well as they once did. That is when people start to notice coldness, reduced sensitivity, and slower recovery after activity. The good news is that the body is very good at responding when it finally gets the right kind of support. Today, I want to share 2 vitamins that are often used together to support the flexibility and function of blood vessels, especially after 60. They work in different ways, but together they help improve how easily blood can move through the system. By the end of this video, you'll know what they are, why they matter, and how simple daily habits can help them work even better. Let's start with the first vitamin, which plays a major role in keeping blood vessels flexible and responsive over time. Vitamin number 1 that supports circulation in a very direct way is vitamin K2, specifically the MK7 form. Many people are familiar with vitamin K because of its role in normal blood clotting, but vitamin K2 has a different and very important job in the body. It helps guide minerals, especially calcium, to the places where they are useful, such as bones and teeth, and away from places where they can cause stiffness. As we get older, small amounts of calcium can begin to settle in the walls of blood vessels. When that happens, vessels can become less flexible and less able to adjust when the body needs more blood flow. Less flexibility means blood does not move as smoothly, especially through the smaller vessels that supply the hands and feet. Vitamin K2 helps activate natural proteins that support moving calcium out of soft tissues and toward the bones. Over time, this helps blood vessels remain softer and more responsive instead of gradually becoming rigid. The MK7 form is often chosen because it stays active in the body longer than other forms of vitamin K2, providing steadier support throughout the day. Because vitamin K2 is fat-soluble, it is usually taken with meals that contain some healthy fat to help the body absorb it more effectively. The amounts used for daily support are small and measured in micrograms, not milligrams, so it is important to read labels carefully. Many supplements provide amounts commonly used for bone and vessel support, but it is still important to talk with your healthcare provider before adding it, especially if you take medications that affect blood clotting. What makes vitamin K2 helpful for circulation is that it supports the structure of the vessel walls themselves. It does not work as a quick sensation you feel right away. It works gradually by helping maintain flexibility over time. That flexibility allows blood vessels to expand and adjust more easily when your body needs more blood flow, such as during walking or standing. So vitamin K2 can be seen as helping maintain the physical condition of the vessels, keeping them ready to respond. But flexibility alone is not enough. Blood vessels also need the right signals to relax and allow more blood to pass through when needed. That is where the second vitamin comes in. Vitamin number 2 supports the body's natural signaling system that tells blood vessels when to open. Vitamin number 2 that works together with K2 to support circulation is vitamin D3, Most people think of vitamin D mainly for bones, and that is certainly one of its important roles. But vitamin D also supports how blood vessels respond to daily demands. Cells in the inner lining of blood vessels have receptors for vitamin D. When levels are adequate, these cells can better support the natural signals that tell vessels when to relax. One of those signals helps trigger the production of substances that encourage blood vessels to widen when the body needs more blood flow. When vitamin D levels are low, that signaling system may not work as efficiently, and vessels can remain more constricted than they should be. This can contribute to feelings of coldness in the hands and feet or slower recovery after physical activity. Vitamin D also supports balanced inflammatory responses in the body. Low-grade inflammation over time can affect how responsive blood vessels are, so keeping vitamin D at healthy levels supports vessel comfort from more than one direction. Many people over 60 have lower vitamin D levels, especially if they spend less time outdoors or live in areas with limited sunlight for much of the year. Because of this, some people choose to use supplements to help maintain healthy levels, while also checking their levels through simple blood tests with their healthcare provider. The amount of vitamin D that supports healthy levels can vary from person to person, which is why testing and professional guidance are helpful. Now, supplements work best when they are supported by everyday food choices. For vitamin K2, fermented foods and certain aged cheeses can provide small natural amounts. For vitamin D, fatty fish and fortified dairy products can contribute, though sunlight remains an important natural source when available. There are also foods that support blood flow by helping the body produce natural vessel-relaxing compounds. Vegetables like spinach, arugula, and beets contain natural nitrates that the body can use to support circulation. These foods work alongside vitamin D by supporting the same relaxation signals in blood vessels. Adding small servings of these foods regularly can help create an environment where blood flow is better supported naturally. So now we have two key vitamins supporting circulation in different ways. Vitamin K2 supporting vessel flexibility and vitamin D3 supporting vessel signaling and balance. But vitamins and food are only part of the picture. Simple daily habits can strongly influence how well blood moves through the legs and feet, especially as we get older. And the good news is that these habits do not require intense exercise or complicated routines. Even the best nutrients cannot do their full job if blood itself is too thick, or if it is not being pushed through the body efficiently. That is why hydration is one of the most overlooked parts of circulation support. Blood is mostly water. When you are even mildly dehydrated, blood becomes thicker and harder to move, especially through small vessels in the legs and feet. This makes the heart work harder and slows delivery of oxygen to tissues. A simple rule many doctors use is aiming for about half your body weight in ounces of water per day, unless your doctor has given you different guidance. It does not need to be all at once. Slow, steady sipping throughout the day keeps blood flowing more easily. The next powerful helper is gentle movement. You do not need intense workouts to help circulation. When your leg muscles contract, they act like pumps that push blood back toward the heart. This is especially important for preventing blood from pooling in the lower legs and ankles. Short walks of 10 to 15 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day, can make a noticeable difference over time. If walking is difficult, even standing up and moving around for 1 minute every hour helps restart blood flow. Now let's talk about body position, which most people never think about. When you sit for long periods, especially with hips bent and the upper body leaning forward, pressure builds in the large blood vessels that return blood from the legs. Over time, this makes swelling and heaviness more likely. One very effective technique is leg elevation. When resting, raising your feet slightly above heart level for about 10 to 15 minutes allows gravity to help move blood and fluid back toward your core. Many people notice reduced ankle swelling and lighter legs when they do this regularly. Another overlooked tool is breathing. Deep, slow breathing using the diaphragm creates gentle pressure changes in the chest that help pull blood upward from the lower body. This improves return flow to the heart and supports overall circulation. Try slow belly breathing for 5 minutes while resting or before sleep. It not only helps blood flow, but also calms the nervous system, which plays a role in how blood vessels respond. So now we have vitamins supporting vessel health, nutrition supporting natural vessel signals, and daily habits supporting steady blood movement. But there is still one major factor that can quietly cancel out many of these benefits if it is not addressed. And that factor is how the body responds to stress. There is one powerful force that can quietly work against healthy circulation if it stays high for too long, and that is ongoing stress. When the body feels stressed, it releases hormones that signal blood vessels to tighten. This response is useful in short moments, but when stress becomes constant, blood vessels spend too much time in a narrowed state. That limits blood flow to the hands, feet, and even the brain. So even if you are using helpful nutrients, long-term stress can reduce their impact. This is why small calming habits are not just good for the mind, they are also good for circulation. Quiet breathing, light stretching, listening to calming music, or spending time outdoors can help the nervous system shift into a more relaxed state. When that happens, blood vessels naturally stay more open and flexible. Another important factor is sleep. During deep sleep, the body repairs the inner lining of blood vessels and balances hormones that control blood pressure and circulation. If sleep is short or broken, inflammation increases, and blood vessels lose some of their ability to relax properly. For most adults over 60, aiming for 7 to 8 hours of steady sleep supports long-term vascular health. Now let's talk about fats in the diet, because this often causes confusion. Some people still try to avoid all fats, but blood vessel walls are made from fats, and the wrong kinds can increase inflammation. Highly processed vegetable oils can promote irritation in blood vessels over time. Healthier fats like olive oil, avocados, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish help support flexible vessel walls and calmer inflammation levels. These fats also improve absorption of vitamins like D and K, making your supplements work more effectively. In addition to the 2 key vitamins we discussed earlier, some people benefit from extra support when circulation issues are more advanced. One helpful option is an amino acid called L-arginine. The body uses L-arginine to produce nitric oxide, the natural signal that tells blood vessels to relax. Supporting this pathway can help maintain smoother blood flow during daily activity. Another helpful nutrient is CoQ10. This compound supports energy production in heart muscle cells and also protects blood vessel lining from oxidative stress. Many adults over 60 have lower CoQ10 levels, especially if they use certain medications. Supporting heart energy can make it easier for blood to circulate efficiently through the body. Now let's put everything together into a simple daily routine. In the morning with breakfast, take vitamin K2 in the MK7 form and vitamin D3 with a small source of healthy fat to support absorption. Include foods that naturally support circulation, such as leafy greens, beets, or a small portion of dark chocolate. Stay hydrated throughout the day by sipping water regularly rather than drinking large amounts at once. Every hour or two, stand up and move gently, even if only for a minute. Short walks are especially helpful. In the afternoon or early evening, take time to elevate your legs for 10 to 15 minutes while practicing slow breathing. This helps fluid and blood return toward the heart. In the evening, focus on calming the nervous system and preparing for steady sleep. Keep the room comfortable, reduce bright light, and allow your body time to shift into rest mode. This full approach supports vessel structure, blood flow, nerve health, and recovery at the same time. And that is what truly improves comfort, warmth in the hands and feet, and daily energy over the long term. It is important to remember that age does not mean the body stops responding. With the right support, blood vessels can regain flexibility and tissues can receive better nourishment again. Small steps, taken consistently, can create real change over time. If this information was helpful to you, I encourage you to share it with someone who may also be struggling with cold hands, heavy legs, or tingling sensations. And if you would like more calm, practical guidance like this, you may want to follow the channel so you do not miss future videos focused on staying active and comfortable as the years go by. Your body is still working for you. Sometimes it just needs the right support to do its job well.